Hi, I'm Kiwi.
And I'm Jarad.
And we are the two gentlemen, coming to you with sleigh bells a-ringing. Jarad.
Big fat man's on his way home. I'm already here now, so...
Jarad, how are you?
Good, mate, good. Yeah, excited. Christmas is here, and I've got some two excited kids at home.
Awesome. Just to let everybody know, Jarad and I are actually in person here, back where it all began. We're in my garage, and we're just surrounded by junk, which acts as some sort of acoustic absorption. It's fantastic in here.
I'm actually feeling quite comfortable. We actually went and sat in another open space. Another space where we are was available, and we sat there, and it was actually very clinical and echoey. So we decided to move back in with the junk.
You feeling all right here, Jarad?
Good.
Not claustrophobic?
No. It's actually quite cozy.
It's great to have you here. This is the last episode for the year. I don't know if that means anything special. Probably not.
No.
But it's just good to see Jarad in the flesh. He's been hanging out with my family a fair bit tonight, which has been lovely.
Yeah.
Catching up upstairs. Got to give Jarad his birthday present finally.
Yeah.
Gave you a pair of Ugg boots, size 14.
How good is that?
Yeah. Virtually brand new.
How would I... Who has said this? Yeah, I didn't think I'd find Ugg boots my size, but sure. Yeah. Thank you. That's awesome.
And the price was right.
Nice.
Courtesy of Erica, of course.
She's a gun.
Look, everybody, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
We're recording just a couple of days out. And, we really wanted to get one out just before Christmas.
Yeah.
We know that it can be a great time for everybody, spending time with family and doing lovely things. But we also know that holidays can also trigger things for others. So, look, we're here to keep you company if you need it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what sort of comfort we can offer, but we'll keep you company.
Just know that there are two gentlemen out there who really do have your backs and do care about you.
100%.
And you can contact us anytime you want, and we're there.
Yeah, totally. We were just having a good chat beforehand. Just random stuff, really, weren't we? And one topic came up and during our chat, and reality checks. That was something that I came up with, and or I spoke to you about, and one of which was I went for a walk on Sunday morning, and decided that I'd take a route that, I used to walk with the girls, and we'd go past a park the girls used to play with, and I'll play on the equipment, and I realised that it's a lot smaller now, that they'd monster it. And I got a bit sad, I looked at it there, a little slide and a little fireman's pole, a little swing. I thought, my girls are grown up, and, they're not, by no means are they adults, but I've got plenty more years to go, but, geez, it really hit me. It hit me like a bit of I didn't expect it. And then all of a sudden there's this reality of, oh wow, these girls are never going to play on that equipment again. Something so little, but it just, it was a weird, strange feeling. Anything sort of like that happen to you, or happens, I'm sure it happens daily to people, you see things, what used to work and now they don't work. I don't know. Just something that I thought was pretty cool to bring up. Yeah,
for you, especially in that situation, you're seeing the passing of time almost, aren't you?
Yep.
It's like, wow, this really rams home that so many years have passed since I've been a father.
Yep.
And since, of course, I've had children, which is the same thing, but it's, you kind of see it in a different way. But yeah, your kids are grown up now in a way. Obviously, they've got a long way to go before they're adults, but that's huge. And it's such a special moment, isn't it, when you do look back on those things, and it's nostalgic as well as, I suppose there's that bit of pain as well. There's, nostalgia always comes with a little bit of pain.
Yeah, it does. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to take them back here and let them play, make them play on it, just so I can have that selfishness of me, they're still kids, but it does have a bit of pain to it, but it's not. The pain doesn't last long because it's, you're watching your kids grow, and it was in the past, and you got a lot of things to look forward to, and we just went on a little break, a one night break recently, and that's a different part of our journey now as parents, and the kids, they're enjoying different things. So we're adjusting, and we've got these moments to sort of plan over the next few years that they're going to, going to the beach and swimming in pools and, simple things in life. But,
and you know what, Jarad? One day you're going to look back on that hotel that you stayed at and go, "Oh, do you remember when the kids were really small and we stayed at that place?"
Yeah.
Look, we're privileged enough to build memories, and it's really nice that we get to do that. And you're quite conscious of it. You said something to me earlier when we were upstairs about something that you picked up from another podcast. I can't believe you listen to other podcasts, by the way. That's just...
I feel like I'm cheating.
That's a betrayal, Jarad. But it was that you only have a limited number of summers with your children, and I'd never thought of it that way. Yeah. And I said to you, I have 0 summers with my parents.
Yep.
And you were like, yeah, kind of the same.
Yeah.
So, at least we're in a position where we've got a little bit more awareness of what we've got and how lucky we are with our kids.
Yep.
So, I have had similar feelings to you. My son wanted to film a garbage truck in a suburb just next to us. This was just yesterday, and I was like, oh, great, let's do that.
Yeah.
And I was really excited to do it, but then I had this kind of sadness about it because I remember chasing trucks there when he was little, before he even filmed.
Yeah.
Before he even knew that he could film a garbage truck.
Yeah.
And we'd wait for hours in the sun, waiting for these trucks to come. And one of them was this particular garbo who was always nice to us from the beginning. We knew him when my eldest son was a baby, and he was so kind to us the whole time. And I was like, oh, I remember we used to chase Graham in that truck. He's like, yeah. Now, my son's almost 14.
Yeah.
And, talking about how many summers you get with your kids, I still get them with him.
Yeah.
We kind of still hold hands every now and then.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine when I was 13 holding hands with my dad.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm way too tough for that. So we're lucky enough that we can still enjoy these things. Yeah. So, I mean, you used the term reality check, and that's... I guess that's not how I would have seen it. To me, it's all about nostalgia and I guess having that awareness that we still have the present.
Yeah.
We can still build memories. And now at Christmas time, I guess we're going to have a whole new series of memories, aren't we?
And that's the important thing to sort of, as you transition from certain stages of your kid's life, your life and all that you understand that there is the present still and you're not pining, I guess, for the past. The past does have a good space, and I don't know if I've said that right, but basically the past has a place, and but the reality is that there's going to be plenty more time ahead of certain things, and then you'll have to adjust.
Yeah.
Once you make that adjustment, you're going to enjoy these new things, and this is in a perfect world. I hope it. I hope at 14 my kids are still wanting to hang out with me like your one is. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And all I can say is cherish that, because you never know. Next week there might be something different, and it sucks. But but as a thing we evolve. So,
yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I'm trying to just make sure that I'm always growing as our relationship grows. So there will come that time when he doesn't want to hang out with me anymore, and that's okay.
Yep.
I get that.
Yep. You had your time.
Yep.
To a certain degree, I guess.
Yep. And it'll come back.
Yeah.
One day. Like now, all I want to ever do is hang out with my parents.
Yeah.
If I could, I'd just hang out with them all the time.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine doing that as a teenager, going, yeah, I'm going to spend Saturday night with my mum. Yeah.
So true.
Yeah. But this Christmas, I'm really looking forward to going to the park behind your old place.
Yep.
So my parents still live in the same house that we grew up in, and that's lovely. So whenever I go and visit them, usually my kids want to go down to the park.
Yep.
Which is a journey I've done probably 10 billion times, walking from my
place
place down to the park. Yep,
as well.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it's got a lot of memories for me. And last time we were there, my brother had some dogs with him. So we did a big walk.
Yeah.
We walked, and this is a bit of nostalgia for all the listeners from Blacktown. We walked from Glamorgan Street all the way past Mitchell High, down Pendon Avenue, up to... Oh, no, we didn't go... We came back through Pendon Avenue. We kept going up Keyworth Drive and through, where the creek is, up to Lancelot Street. And, when you think about all these old places, it's like, wow, we used to, ride our bikes around there. We used to walk to parties around there at night. It was such a huge time in our lives. But it feels like it was just yesterday to me.
It does, and it's crazy. I speak to, sometimes I do end up in that area for whatever reason. There's a big shopping centre nearby. So every time I'm sort of in that area, I might swing by the old place.
Yeah.
Have a bit of a sticky beat. But, that place only left our family maybe 5-6 years ago.
Yep.
Maybe a bit longer. But yeah, I still drive past and have a look here and there. I take the long way home. But yeah, I'll drive past your old place or your parents' place and the park. And yeah, it's just memories of that area. And when I'm with my family, we're like, oh yeah, I knew the person lived in that house. I knew that person. I've been in that house, been in that. And you go a good drive around that particular area and I've just named 30 houses. Because we went to the local school and everyone was in that area. So it's not much different to what a lot of people would experience. But, if you went to a private school or a Catholic school that wasn't in your area, you catch the bus to school, you wouldn't have that same memories of that particular insular area. Like you said, we rode our bikes there, we visited friends there, we went to parties there.
Yeah.
It was all within walking distance.
Yep.
And if it wasn't, it was bike.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good space, and it's just nice to revisit.
Yeah.
And you get to do it. You get to do it because your parents are still there. So you actually don't. You're not as much of a weirdo as I am. I go to the shops that are 3 k's away, and I'm like, oh, I'll just go via that way, completely out of my way. But yeah,
you're like a time traveling tourist, Jarad.
They see this same car rock up every couple of months, and they're like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's pretty cool.
Did I tell you that Erica, for some reason, I think her mum lived in Blacktown at one point. And they actually went past her mum's old house and they just went up there and said, oh, can we come in and have a look?
Oh, really?
And the new people let them in.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is. I hope one day I can buy a heritage listed house and that someone comes by and says, oh, we used to live here. Do you want to have a look? Of
Too bad if they're the ghosts.
Yeah.
You just let them back in the house. Yeah.
So, Jarad, I guess this time of year just brings up, I suppose, different feelings and memories and that sort of thing. And we've taken this trip down memory lane.
Yep.
I always reflect on my year, usually around this time. I guess maybe a little bit later when, it gets closer to New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
But for me, lately, I've had a lot of time on my hands for various reasons. So, yeah, I've looked back on the year and it's been an interesting one. It's been really challenging for me, I must say. And I got a lot of reality checks myself.
Yeah.
You mentioned the term reality check, and I just wanted to bring it back to that.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of a bit when, you're a teenager and you think, I can do this really easily. And then you realise life doesn't work like that. You think, oh, yeah. For example, when we played rugby league, I planned some of the tries I was going to score.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, next week I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. The opposition had other ideas, Jarad.
They planned how to get you,
Yeah, that length of the field, Brett Mullen style swerve. It didn't happen for some reason,
No.
But I've had a lot of that in my life. And, this year I planned on, I really want to get this novel published.
Yep.
Didn't happen.
Yep.
And, I've had a big reality check there. I wrote the novel that I wanted to read.
Yep.
I wrote something that came straight from my heart. I wrote something that I felt was beautiful, and I got some really great feedback from friends. One of our friends actually asked me later on, oh, can you tell me who edited your novel? And I said, no, I did.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, wow, I didn't realise it was you. It was so well written and it was so polished that I thought you got a professional editor. I was like, oh, great.
Yeah, that's good.
But the reality check is that it's too long, for a debut novel.
Yeah.
It's a genre that's a bit too tricky to get published. I sent something off recently to an agent who didn't even get my name right when they sent the rejection letter.
Yeah, right. So you weren't rejected. It was someone else.
It was someone else, yes. But yeah, so that happened. And you know what? This year has been a really big reality check for me. It's like, you can have all the dreams you want, but the opposition has their plans too. In this case, of course, it's not a plan. No one's against me. Nothing, I don't see life like that. No one is out to get me. It's just, there's a song that I love, and it's called You Just Haven't Earned It Yet, Baby. And that's how I feel. It's like, you know what? You've got to go back to the drawing board, and that's what life has told you. This is what I love about life. It tells you the truth.
Yeah, it does, and you learn your lessons along the way.
Yep.
So, I think you answered. I had a question in mind when you were talking, and I think you answered it a little bit. But you had your reality checks. you said that an editor didn't even, or somebody, an agent, sorry, you sent it to didn't really even read it or respond, get your name right or whatever. But so you've got your reality check from that particular person or that particular company. Was a lot of the reality checks from you if you're inside yourself, or did you actually get all those reality checks from the outside? Did someone tell you these? I mean, you said that you got some good reviews, but then you said that, it was a bit long, that, you wrote the book for you or for something you want to read. I mean, that reality is that not everyone is you. So, that's...
Exactly.
But is that something you've come up with and you've made that decision yourself, or you've had that check come internally?
Yeah. So what happens, Jared, is you get signals and then you've got to connect the dots yourself.
Yep. No one's going to tell you straight.
Yep.
Well, sorry, correctly. People will tell you, but a lot of the times people don't tell you, and you've got to find that.
So the truth is a huge picture.
Yep.
You could get selected for a rep team, and you might interpret that as, I'm really good at football.
Yep.
The truth might be bigger than that. It might be, well, actually, there was another guy that was injured. That's why you got selected.
Yep.
The truth might be, well, it's because you're this person's son. That's why you got selected.
Yeah.
The truth is they wanted to balance out the squad.
Yeah, you can do this and the other person can do
Exactly.
that. And you mesh together perfectly.
So there could be a whole picture to that truth. So I could go away and just go, all right, so the world has told me that I can't write, I suck, and I'm not worth anything. That's one way to interpret it. Or you can go away and go, okay, so I wrote something really cool that some people liked, but it's not marketable, and no one's going to take that much of a punt on a brand new author. Therefore, you need to do something safer. Now, I just bought a book the other day. It's by a Vietnamese author, and it takes place in Cabramatta. Back in the old days when I used to go there, when, the good, the bad days, when, it was rife with drugs and, gang activity, that sort of thing. Yeah. So a lot of nostalgia for me. Now, I heard about the book through the Sydney Morning Herald. This person, she's a journalist who lives in the US now. I think she lives in New York. So this is her debut novel, and it's pretty thin. It's like 300 and something pages. That's how you got to do it.
Yep.
And, she's a better writer than me. She's better looking than me, believe it or not.
It's harsh.
So there you go, and she did what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And now I've gone away and I've got that reality check. So what am I going to do with this new reality? Well, you either get better or you quit. They're the two choices. As you know, I'm not going to quit. So I'm going to go away and write something better and something shorter, something marketable. I'm going to make a business decision, essentially.
Yeah. And
a business decision simply means that it's palatable to a market somewhere.
How do you measure... Question without... This is a question without any, I don't even know the answer. But how do you measure better? Like you said, you can make it shorter. That's easy. You can say, well, I've wrote a 700-page novel. I can turn that into 300 pages. That's easy. I can market it to, I can adjust to what I need to do in certain other aspects. But, when you're talking about something that you're passionate about, the first one, you would think that was the best because that was written for you.
Yep.
So how do you make it better? When you say better, do you mean better to sell?
Yes, exactly. And when I say better, I mean more appropriate. Simple as that.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, some things, there is such thing as objectively better. There are some songs, for example, the Crazy Frog songs, they're objectively worse than a decent song by, say, U2 or Elvis Presley or something like that, right?
Yeah.
You can see that. Yes. Now, if I came up with, some Crazy Frog stuff and you'd be like, that's going to sell, right? I mean, that's got so many hits on YouTube.
But I hate you for doing it.
And you will. Yeah. And you'd be like, Kiwi, now my kids listen to that all the time. It's really annoying. Yeah. And I won't say that was good work. I'd say it's effective work.
Yeah.
So there is some sort of objectivity when it comes to the arts. And I feel that I understand that.
You're adjusting what you need to do.
Yeah.
Maybe that piece comes later, but the piece that you're passionate about, you see that a lot though, don't you? In music that's released, you see the albums that come out, the first 3 or 4 albums. Yeah, I'm talking back when we used to have CDs and records. But you'd see there'd be a certain style.
Yep.
And you could tell that was their style, but it was obviously heavily influenced by people above them, next to them.
Exactly.
Whatever. And then all of a sudden they get to this level where they're like, well, we don't need a record label. We've got our own money and our own... And then they produce something that's either unbelievable or absolute garbage. Or different. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. But you look at it and you're like, okay, that's... And then you look... Or you know, same thing with books. You know, you get an author that gets to the point where like, I want to write something completely for me. And it's different. It's not what you're used to. So, it's that usually comes once you dot the I's and cross the T's.
Exactly.
With the bits that you have to do to become marketable.
Yep. Exactly. You've got to get to that point, though, where you can get away with anything.
Yeah, that's right. You can't just jump straight into that pool of, I'm just going to do what I want to do. Maybe you get lucky, but that's all it is luck, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. And look, people interpret you differently as well. Like, when they first see you, when you're a nobody, no one will give you the time of day. When you're a somebody, it's almost like they're more forgiving of you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, that's a you know, for example, artists.
Yeah.
You know, they might go, oh, that's a special piece by this person, where you're like, if that was the first time I saw that and I didn't know who painted it, what would I really think?
Yeah.
Right? It's hard to be objective then, and you've got this relationship already. So I guess I just need to be good enough and have a relationship with an audience. Yeah. So there you go. That's my big reality check for 2022.
Well, I'm glad you learnt. I'm going to say learnt. I'm glad you got out of it. I'm going to say positive stuff. You know, you didn't just throw in, you know, you're not going to give up, like you said, but you didn't just get angry and say that they were wrong. And
no,
you know,
the market is always right.
Yeah,
that's it.
Because they're the ones you're selling to, or they're the ones that are reading your stuff or hearing your stuff or whatever it might be. So you got to listen to it.
Yep.
You know, like I remember the first time we sent this stuff, like our podcast, out to people we knew.
Yeah.
Mainly, there was a few people that you knew, and they said a few things, and I adjusted. So I'm like, yeah, I do speak over Kiwi a bit sometimes, or you know, little things like that where you just think, oh, you know, I probably did get a bit excited and go off on a tangent or whatever it might be, but I took that as a constructive criticism, I guess. But because we asked these people whether they liked it, and they came back with a few things. It was nice that they liked it, but it was also really awesome that they gave that opinion.
Yep.
So, you know, it's adjusting to what people want to hear. They don't want to hear you speak and then me talk over you, or you know, or whatever the other things. You know, don't remember because I'm too big now. And, you know, I don't care what you think. but yeah, like it's an adjustment, you know, and you got to make that.
Yeah, exactly. Look, another thing that's, I guess martial artists will be able to relate to this is you have these fantasy fight scenes, right? When you start practicing these moves, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this and that. And it all works in your head. Like, I swear I'm the world's greatest street fighter in my head.
Yep.
You know, I'll beat anybody.
I've heard that.
Yeah. Did you hear that in your head?
Yeah,
or did you hear it in my head?
Anyway. I'm not going to try.
I did some sparring. I've had 3 sessions with this guy who is lovely. I mentioned him in the last episode. Fantastic guy. I didn't ask him if I could mention him in this podcast, so I won't say his name, but you know who you are, mate. You are awesome. And, you know, when I'm sparring, like, everything goes out the window because I'm so tired already. By the time we get to the sparring after doing drills, etc., you know, jogging around the park, I'm just kind of just standing there.
From the better version of you.
Exactly. I'm up against a guy who's better than me and, you know, more skilled in every way. I'm just going to try to survive. That's it. So I'm just tired.
Everything's just gone out the window. All your training.
Exactly.
It's my ability to survive.
Now, I don't know if anyone remembers those 80s martial arts films. They get into this bit and then there's a slow motion moment in the main fight where their training comes back to them. You get all these flashback scenes and it's the best. It's like, you know, they're doing all these elaborate trainings with like a log coming at their head and then the same punch kind of comes at them. They do the same move to get out of the way and then they, you know, flash back to another bit of their training and then they do that and it's fantastic. In a real fight. Reality check time. No.
You don't remember the wax on, wax off and the...
My goodness.
The fence painting and...
All I remember is that I think I may have broken a toe, I don't know, checking a kick, and it's still sore now, you know, like 10, 11 days later. So, anyway, that's reality for you people.
Talk about reality. How much do injuries take? Like, how long does it take for injuries to heal now?
Oh, my goodness.
Like, okay, so I've been taking the girls for a swim. We've been going to... Like, over the last 3 or 4 days, I think we've swum 5 or 6 times in different pools and whatever. And because I'm still in the pool with them, like they can swim, but they still, you know, need a bit of help, or, you know, just need someone around. So I'm in the pool, but I'm in a pool that comes up to my waist. So I get down on my knee. So I'm in knee deep water. I'm in water, but I'm up to my chest, but I'm on my knees. And then now I've got like this like grazed toe, and I've lost all my hair on my leg because I've been like scraping along the bottom of the floor, like with chlorine and stuff. I'm like, now, they're the injuries I get now as a 42. Like, I used to play one of the toughest games around.
Yeah.
And walk off with, you know, all this sort of stuff. And now I'm whinging about it. I said to my wife, I said, oh, what's this? And she goes, it's just a scratch. Just like, I said, but what if it gets infected? Tell you what, it's a reality check of getting old.
Yeah,
But,
I know.
yeah, I've hurt myself. Not hurt myself. I'm not going to say I hurt myself, but I've, given myself some issues by being on my knee in the pool. Like, come on.
Your body doesn't lie.
No.
You know, it's telling you something.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, but, you know, what do you do? What do you do? You stub your toe at home and you're sore for 6 weeks.
Yeah, pretty much, man. That's the reality of being in your 40s. And I think this is something that men find hard to accept. You know, our testosterone drops a lot. We're not stimulated in the same way. So there's a lot of adjustments that need to be made. And, you know, you hear the term midlife crisis. I totally understand it.
Yeah, I can definitely see where people can go a little bit off. And I say that with respect. Like, I'm still trying to play sport, and I say trying, but I still do, right? But like I said, I hurt myself in a swimming pool with my kids, you know, but I'm, you know, I come off the court or I come off whatever I'm doing, and I'm like, man, I'm sore. Like, you know, I did my PT training, and it's like I'm 100 years old. Like, I can barely walk. This can't be this hard for the rest. Like, I'm only 40. Like, come on. Like, I'm trying to be active. I'm trying to do the right thing, but it's taking a toll.
Yeah.
And I can see how people can sort of get depressed over that. I used to be able to do this. Literally 2 years ago, I was doing this. Or, you know, this is, you know, other people, you know, or, like, I know of a guy I play basketball with, and he's always, he's a fit guy.
Yeah.
Very good basketball player. And he's had a few injuries lately, like just little niggly ones, like hamstrings. And he moves a lot better. Like, he's a position that moves a lot, and he's quite physical and all this sort of stuff. So he's still playing a young man's game, but he's older than me.
Yeah.
And he's just starting to get niggly injuries, and he's really frustrated with it. Like, and I'll just get, you know, keep doing it. Like, he knows he had a physio. Like I said, he's a fit guy. He does all sorts of stuff, but just these injuries are catching up.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it, and I can see the frustration that, because he tries to keep playing, because he's like, well, this isn't real. This isn't happening. I've never been injured.
Yeah.
But, you know, you keep going. Something's going to give eventually. But yeah, it's definitely frustrating to have it happen, and it's frustrating to watch someone sort of realize that, you know, father time always catches, you know.
I know. Undefeated.
Yeah. I look at someone, like I've mentioned, look at LeBron James, you know, the guy's 38. No, not old by all, but the amount of miles he's put on those legs, and the ability to do what he does still do is just phenomenal. But there's going to be a point. Yeah. Like, there has to be a point.
Yeah. Look, it's great how we're able to do things much older now. I hear the term 50 is the new 40 or whatever it is. I mean, we just probably say that to make ourselves feel better. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't feel old, and my memories are so fresh. Like when I said, you know, like walking around Blacktown, I really do feel like I was just there. So, I mean, reality will tell me, look, Kiwi, you're 42, you haven't achieved your dreams. And that's the truth, you know, like I'm not here telling a sub story or anything. We're sitting in my garage here where it all began with the two gentlemen. And I remember you saying to me in that first episode, you know, I thought you'd be living in a mansion or something. And you know what? I probably thought things would happen really easily for me.
Yeah.
That, I've got good ideas, therefore things will work. But that's just not how life works at all. And there's just so much that needs to come together. And my sister-in-law, she's an agent for actors, and she said there's a whole team behind these people who make it. Yeah. Like these presenters you see on TV who you think just showed up and auditioned for something. Like, someone gets spotted and it's like they become a manufactured product after that. Yeah. There's so much polish put on these people. Yeah. And unless you're willing to do that, it's going to be really hard to make it. So, in my case, I don't know what I need to do other than create a great product. And that's my next job, to just, keep writing really cool stuff that I believe in, that I want to believe in, that I'm proud of. I'm really proud of this podcast.
Yeah.
We haven't set the world on fire. We haven't got a Spotify deal like Joe Rogan or anything like that. But, but you know what? I think we've had our reality check from the market, and we've had people come up to you and just say, I really got a lot out of that episode. I've been contacted by people out of the woodwork who said, that was great, Kiwi. I've got friends who, much younger, like listener zero, Sophia, who loves our show, who listens to it and gets something out of it, which I find remarkable, that someone from a completely different generation, she's literally half our age, she's 21, would listen to these two old people and go, oh, yeah, that was cool. So, to me, that's a great reality check. Now, we can take that and go, yep, that means we're awesome, or we can, which we wouldn't, or we can take that and go, that's a platform that we can build on.
Yeah.
Let's keep improving and let's keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, keep evolving,
Look, I just realised we've hit our half hour and Jared's still here at my place.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just going to hit stop and we're going to record another episode. We're going to make this a double episode.
Sounds good.
To finish off the year. If you haven't jumped into the next episode yet, just remember to like and subscribe, join our socials, whatever they are, Twitter and Instagram and Facebook.
Right.
Get in contact with us personally. Please, we love hearing from you. Carl, I've really enjoyed messaging you over the World Cup, the Football World Cup. Cracker of a final, by the way. Yeah. So, please say hello to us. We love you and we're here for you. And Hannah, it was great talking to you the other day. I hope things are going well for you in the UK. Please make sure you say hi to Sid and Tom for me. Bye now.